Good evening, everybody. Last class we discussed about the financial statement and types of financial statement, nature of financial statement, objective of financial statement, and today we are going to discuss about the characteristics of ideal financial system. Okay, what are the characteristics of ideal financial system? किन किन चीज रहने से characteristics रहने से हम उस फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट को आइडियल फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बोलेंगे. ओके, पहला क्या है? इट डिपिक्ट्स द ट्रू फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन. द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट शुड रिप्रेजेंट द ट्रू फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन. Through your financial statement, your true picture of your organization should be depicted. Okay, then it should be effective presentation. Then whatever the financial statement is there, it should be presented in an effective manner so that those parties who are interested in your financial statement, they should clearly understand your about your position of the organization. Okay, so your financial statement, the ideal financial system should represent effectively. Okay, then it should relevance. Whatever the financial statement is there, it should relevant to your objective of your organization. So the financial statement should be relevant, and it also attractive. It should be attractive to the various parties should attract your financial statement. They should take their decision based upon your attraction of your financial statement. Then while preparing the particular financial statement, it is easy to understand, so easiness must be present in the financial statement. Then comparability. The financial statement should compare, it should be comparable from various years, and also you should capable of comparing your organization with other organization which are there under the particular industry. So it should have the comparability features. Then it should be analytically represent, it should be analyzed, and it should be analytically represent your business. Then it should be brief. The next is one, brief. It should be briefly explain about the organization's performance, organization's strength and weakness, and as soon as possible, the particular accountant has to prepare, okay, very promptly this financial statement. So promptness means quickly you have to prepare this financial statement. So these characteristics must be present so that we can tell that the financial statement is a ideal financial statement. Ideal financial statement किसे बोलेंगे? जब इन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स जब प्रेजेंट होगा फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में. फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट मींस व्हाट वी अंडरस्टैंडिंग? फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट मींस इट इंक्लूड्स द इनकम स्टेटमेंट, it includes the balance sheet, it includes the statement of changes in owner's equity, it includes the statement of changes in the financial position, that includes the fund flow statement as well as cash flow statement according to the Companies Act 2013. So these characteristics must be present in a financial statement so that we can tell that financial statement is a ideal statement. If these characteristics won't present, then we can't tell the financial statement is an ideal statement. Okay, it is simply a financial statement. To have a ideal financial statement, we should have this kind of features, these kind of characteristics must be present so that we can tell that the financial statement is a ideal financial statement. Okay, then what are the limitations of this financial statement? Limitations, these are the various limitation of financial statement. It is just a interim report. The first limitation of the financial statement is all about, it is just a interim report. Interim report means the final position of the organization is not determined. Okay, the final position of the organization will be determined when the organization get liquidated. Organization का जो फाइनल पोजीशन कब मालूम पड़ेगा? जब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लिक्विडेट होगा. Until and unless the organization will be liquidated, you can't know the final position of the organization. And the organizations, all the things are allocated based upon the revenue and expenditure. All the things are allocated based upon the profit and loss, revenues and expenditures only. So that's why it is just an interim report, and the final position of the organization is not determined, not able to know, because the organization's final position can only be known when it is being liquidated. Once you sold out your asset and liability, then only the true picture of the organization, the final position of the organization can be known. Then do not give the exact position. So the financial statement do not give the exact position or the right position of the organization can't be known through financial statement. Why? Because the organization is all about the going concern concept. Okay, means the business has to be continued for a for ending period, and there are certain items like discount on issue of share, preliminary expenses, that is preliminary expenses, discount on issues of share, and goodwill that is having no value after the liquidation. Okay, those values are not taken into account whenever there is a liquidation of the company. The discount on issue of share, the goodwill, the preliminary expenses, that is not taken into account. And whatever the fixed asset position shown in the balance sheet, that is not being sold out figure, or not being shown as a replacement figure. So the replacement value and the sold out value in the market is not depicted in the financial statement. So the financial statement do not shows the exact position of the organization. Then it depends of it. The limitation is all about the historical cost. Historical cost means what? Past cost. It represents the cost which is occurred, the which is incurred in the past, which do not represent the true picture. The changes in the price is not considered. The purchasing price today is not considered, because whatever the information which is passed is being recorded year over year. The what are the current price, what is prevailing, the it is not considered. It is only considered about the historical price, because the whatever the present economic condition, the inflation and the purchasing power, it is not considered in the financial statement. It is based upon the historical price or the past price. So that's why that is the limitation, because your purchasing power reduces whenever you take into account the past prices, because it is not representing the current price what is prevailing. So it is not considered the purchasing power, or the purchasing power ability, or purchasing price. Then impact of non-monetary factor ignored. What is impact of non-monetary factor ignored? If there are different kind of non-monetary factors like reputation of the employees, the credit worthiness of the particular organization, okay, the honesty of the organization. These are the non-monetary factors which plays a most significant role in the financial statement. Okay, reputation of the manager, reputation of the organization, credit worthiness of the organization, honesty of the organization. These are the non-monetary factors we can't measure in the monetary terms. So that's why the non-monetary factors are not considered. So that is the demerit or the limitation of this financial statement. Not only the monetary factors, but also the non-monetary factors also has to be taken into account. As it is not taken into account, the impact on non-monetary factor is being ignored in the financial statement, which is the limitation of this financial statement. Then there is no precision. Precision means there are it is depends upon different kind of concepts, convention, postulates, recorded facts, and personal judgment. So that's why it is not having any kind of precise. Okay, the precision is not there, the exactness is not there. It is not precise about the particular thing, because it depends upon the recorded facts, it depends upon the postulates, it depends upon the concepts, it depends upon the conventions. So that's why it is not precise, and it also depends upon, while preparing this particular financial statement, the personal judgment plays the most important role. So that's why it is not precise. So that is, these are the demerits or the limitation of the financial statement. ये सारे चीज क्या होते हैं, financial statement का क्या होते हैं, limitation होते हैं, यानी demerit होते हैं, जो कि एक प्रॉब्लम है, एक डिसीजन मेकर को डिसीजन लेने में, एक स्टेक होल्डर को डिसीजन लेने में वो मुश्किल होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द लिमिटेशन ऑफ financial statement. Now we are going to discuss under the schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, the items. There are different items will be there under what head and sub head you can put under the Companies Act 2013 schedule 3. And I can write different kind of items, and you have to put under different head and subhead. Before telling about the head and subhead, you have to know what is current asset. We have to know what is current liability. You have to know what is non-current liability. You have to know. So what is current asset? What is that current asset? We might come across this particular current asset while preparing the balance sheet. There are two assets will be there. One is a fixed asset, another is current asset will be there. Fixed asset, we know the plant, machinery, okay, uh, any kind of which is required to make the physical infrastructure of a particular company, which is required, that is known as what fixed asset. And current asset, what is current asset? Current asset are those assets which can be converted into case within a period of 1 year. जो asset एक ईयर पीरियड में कन्वर्ट हो सकता है केस में which is highly liquid is known as whatever current asset. What can come under the current asset? The sundry debtor will come, the bills receivable will come, the inventory will come, the prepaid expenses will come, the prepaid rent will come. So these are the things which can come under the category of current asset. Current asset क्या है? जो कि within a period of 1 year में वो क्या हो सकता है? कन्वर्ट हो सकता है केस में. Case and bank balance will come, sundry debtors will come, prepaid prepaid uh, prepaid expenses will come, inventory will come. Okay, so these are the things which can be converted into case within a period of 1 year, जो कि क्या है, जो कि current asset हम बोलते हैं. What is current liability? The short term obligation of a firm is known as current liability. We usually put under the liability side, one is a fixed liability or non-current liability and the current liability. Current liability are those obligation of firm which can be paid within a period of 1 year. So bills payable we can say, or sundry creditor we can say, okay, or outstanding expenses we can say, or bank overdraft we can say. These are the things which are the short term obligation where a firm has to discharge its short term obligation within a period of 1 year. 1 year period में firm को उस obligation को क्या करना है, पूरा करना है, इसलिए वो क्या है, करंट लायबिलिटी है. एंड करंट एसेट्स आर within a 1 year period which can be converted into case. Example I cited, the sundry debtor will be there, the bills receivable will be there, case and bank balance will be there, inventory will be there, prepaid expenses will be there. That is under the current asset. What is non-current asset or non-current liability? Okay, non-current asset, this is the fixed liability, fixed asset we can say. Non-current liability, that is the fixed liability we can say. Okay, that is the fixed liability, non-current liability. Then fixed asset is the non-current, which is not current asset, that is non-current asset, which is not current liability, non-current liability. Okay, what is the fixed liability? Debenture. If a firm is issued the debenture or equity, that is coming under the non-current liability. What is fixed asset or non-current asset? We know that is what is the fixed plant, machinery, etc. That is the non-current assets of the fixed asset. So while according to the schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, you have to put various items under different head and subhead. For that we have to do a particular problem for that. So we are going to do a particular problem where we have to put the respective items in its heads and subheads. Okay, so what are the things? Okay, first we have to categorize into three things. One is item under the head, then subhead. Okay, so what is the first item I want to uh, put? Okay, let's take I am giving you the question. This is the item 8% debenture. Under what head you have to put the 8% debenture? There is a question. Under what head you have to put the 8% debenture, and under what head you have to put the under what subhead you have to put the 8% debenture? We have to put, this is a question, under what, this is the item, under what head we have to put 8% debenture, under what subhead we have to put the 8% debenture. So we know 8% debenture, this is known as what, non-current liability. Okay, under what head we have to put non-current liability, and under what subhead we had to put, this is a long-term borrowing. What is that? This is the long-term borrowing. Fine. Similarly, next item you have to put under different head and subhead, that is proposed dividend. Okay, what is proposed dividend? The company want to propose the dividend. Okay, so it is a what? Current liability. Okay, it is a short term obligation. So it is coming, it is not a long term, so it is a short term provision for the company. Okay, next item we have to put under different head and subhead. Premium on redemption of debenture. Redemption of debenture. So premium on redemption of debenture. So what is this? This is a non-current liability. What is that? This is a non-current liability of the company. So it is coming under what? Other long-term borrowings. LT means what? Long-term borrowings. Okay. Don't use abbreviations. Always use other long-term borrowings. Okay. Next, general reserve. Okay, general reserve is coming under what category? It is coming under, okay, shareholders fund. Okay, and the subhead is reserves and surplus. Okay, general reserve is coming under the head of what? Shareholder funds, and under the subhead of what? Reserve and surplus. Then mortgage loan. Mortgage loan is coming under the non-current liability, and the subhead become the first, that is long-term borrowing. Similarly, next one is provision for tax. Provision for tax. Okay, under what head it will come? It will come under the head of current liability, and it is also a short-term provision. Next item we have to see. Okay, we have segregated these items under different heads and subheads. Okay, similarly, goodwill will do up to 10 number of items, and we have to put under different heads and subheads. Okay, next one is goodwill. We know goodwill is not a current liability, okay, not a current asset, so it's a non-current asset. NCA means what? Non-current asset. Okay, so it is a fixed asset, fixed intangible asset, we can't touch, so it is a fixed intangible asset. Then loose tools, LOOSE, loose, TOOLS, loose tools, it is coming under the head of current asset. CA means current asset. Okay, so loose tools, under what subhead it will come? It will come under the subhead of inventory. Inventory subhead में क्या आएगा? Loose tools आएगा. जो main heading होगा क्या? Current asset होगा. Okay. Then mining rights. Mining rights. Okay, it is coming under the head of non-current asset. Like goodwill, it is also coming under the non-current asset, and it is also the same. It is a fixed asset. It is fixed asset, which is also intangible. Then last one. Okay, we have to do prepaid rent. Prepaid rent. Prepaid rent means what? The rent paid, okay, in advance. That is advance you are paying the rent. That means it is your current asset. So what is this current asset? It is coming under the head, subhead of other current asset. So we have segregated each and every item under the head. Under head we have written current asset or current liability, or non-current asset or non-current liability. Under subhead we have written the long-term provision or short-term provision, or long-term liability or short-term provision, or fixed asset or fixed asset, or inventory. We have segregated the item into the various heads and subhead. Each and every item is having various heads and subhead. Okay, hope you understand about this various heads and subhead according to the schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, we have to put the items under different heads and subheads. Okay, so I have to rub this one. Okay, then now we'll have to discuss what is financial analysis or what is financial statement analysis. Okay, the financial analysis or financial statement analysis, these are the two same thing. कोई भी बोल रहा है financial statement analysis बोल रहा है या financial analysis बोल रहा है, ये दोनों में कुछ अंतर नहीं है, वो क्या है, सेम है. So what is this financial statement is all about? Financial statement is a process of identifying the financial strength and the weakness of a firm. Okay, so you have to identify द फिनेंशियल स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस. क्या तुम आइडेंटिफाई करोगे अंडर फिनेंशियल एनालिसिस में? कंपनी का क्या आइडेंटिफाई करना, उसका स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, उसका वीकनेस क्या है. सो इट इज अ डिटेल इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस और द or different components of firm's income statement as well as what balance sheet to know the performance of the company. Understanding the firm's position and performance of the company, for that you are preparing whatever financial analysis. Financial analysis का मतलब क्या है? You have to examine what you have to examine or evaluate the strength and weakness of a company, the position of a company. You have to evaluate the performance of a company. You have to evaluate, that is under the financial statement analysis. Okay, you have to evaluate what the financial position of a company, the balance sheet, the income statement. You have to evaluate. You have to evaluate the relationship between the various component of the financial statement, that is income statement and the income statement as well as balance sheet. उसका परफॉर्मेंस क्या है, उसको इवैल्यूएट करने को क्या बोलते हैं, फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस बोलते हैं. फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस को फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस भी बोल सकते हैं. उसका मतलब क्या है, यू हैव टू एग्जामिन कंपनी का स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, कंपनी का वीकनेस क्या है, और कंपनी का वेरियस कंपोनेंट में उसका रिलेशनशिप क्या है. ओके, एंड कंपनी का परफॉर्मेंस क्या है, कंपनी का पोजीशन क्या है, उसको डिटेली इवैल्यूएट करने को, डिटेली एग्जामिन करने को हम क्या बोलते हैं, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस बोलते हैं. ओके, और फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस बोलते हैं. ओके, देन what is the objective and importance of what is the objective and importance of this financial statement analysis? So ये financial statement analysis का objective क्या है? So ये क्यों किया जाता है? Okay, to know about the operation efficiency. Okay, to know the earning capacity. कंपनी का अर्निंग कैपेसिटी क्या है, कंपनी रन कर रहा है या नहीं एफिशिएंट में, कंपनी का शॉर्ट टर्म लिक्विडिटी पोजीशन साउंड है या नहीं, कंपनी का लॉन्ग टर्म लिक्विडिटी पोजीशन साउंड है या नहीं. लिक्विडिटी का मतलब क्या है, जब कभी भी ओके फार्म को रिक्वायरमेंट हो, वो क्या है, it is able to pay its due as in when. Okay, if you are in the capable of paying as and when whatever the amount due to your business, that means your liquidity position is quite sound. So in order to know the short term liquidity position or short term solvency position and the long term solvency position and your earning capacity, your profitability position. Okay, profitability position, to know the profitability position. Okay, to determine the dividends. Okay, to determine the dividend, to take various decisions, to control, you have to go for financial statement analysis. Okay, the objective and importance of financial statement analysis is to check, is to know about the short term solvency position, about the earning capacity of your business, about the operational efficiency of the business. Also with this financial statement we can able to compare inter farm comparison. Farm में हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं, एक फार्म से दूसरे फार्म हम क्या कर सकते हैं, कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. एंड आल्सो वी कैन एबल टू फोरकास्ट द फ्यूचर एंड वी कैन टेक नंबर ऑफ डिसीजन बिकॉज ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. These are the objective and importance of what financial statement analysis. Okay, financial statement analysis का मकसद क्या है, उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, आपका अर्निंग कैपेसिटी क्या है, आप कितना अर्न कर सकते हो, आपका शॉर्ट टर्म सॉल्वेंसी पोजीशन क्या है, आप शॉर्ट टर्म में आपका जितना ऑब्लिगेशन है वो पूरा कर पाते हुए नहीं, can your current asset will be sufficient enough to cover your current liability or not, what is your long term solvency position, can your long term asset, fixed asset sufficient enough to recover the long term liability or not. Okay, you can take number of decision because of your financial statement analysis. You can have to compare with one company to another company whether your company is good or bad. For granting any kind of credit or for any kind of decision making also it is useful, and for one company to another company for comparison also this financial statement analysis is having its own importance. It is quite vital for any kind of accountant has to prepare this financial statement analysis for better decision making for forecasting of the particular business. So financial statement analysis is quite vital. Financial statement analysis का मतलब क्या है, to check the strength and weakness, to evaluate the performance of the company, to establish the relationship between various components of the balance sheet and the income statement position. So उसे क्या बोलेंगे, financial statement analysis, जो कि common man को जरूरत है अंडरस्टैंडिंग में, उसको तरह तरह के डिसीजन लेने में वो क्या है, हेल्पफुल होता है. So now we are going to discuss who are the parties who are interested in this financial statement analysis. कौन कौन सा पार्टी है जो कि इस financial statements analysis को dependent है. So who are the parties? Okay, those parties who are interested in a financial statement, the same parties also interested for the financial statement analysis. Who are the parties, who are the stakeholders who are interested in this financial statement analysis? The first one is investor. Investor is having the interested in financial statement analysis or financial analysis. Okay, financial accounting नहीं, financial analysis. Financial analysis को कौन इंटरेस्टेड है, इन्वेस्टर. इन्वेस्टर वुड लाइक टू नो whether his money is safe or not, whatever he is investing, whether he will get the right kind of return in the future, his principal as well as interest in debenture as well as dividend in the equity. जो इन्वेस्टमेंट करता है वो सही समय में वो डिविडेंड पाएगा या नहीं, सही समय में वो डिबेंचर से इंटरेस्ट पाएगा या नहीं, उसका मनी सिक्योर है या नहीं, उसका प्रिंसिपल सिक्योर है या नहीं, उस चीज को, उस चीज के लिए इन्वेस्टर क्या करेगा, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में इंटरेस्ट लेगा. सो ही इज द फर्स्ट पर्सन, फर्स्ट पार्टी हु इज इंटरेस्टेड इन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस. सिमिलरली मैनेजमेंट. ओके, मैनेजमेंट वुड लाइक टू नो the performance of the organization, the operation efficiency of the organization, whatever the plan they set, as they set, are they going in the same way or not, to check that one. Okay, whether they fulfill the objective as they were decided, or to know the, or to check the performance of the organization, efficiency of the organization. So management also interested in the financial analysis. Similarly, the creditor or the suppliers, these are the people who are supplying the goods on credit basis to the organization, so they are also interested in the financial statement. Creditors are also interested in the financial statement because whether to give the credit to the organization or not, because you are getting the organization getting the goods in the credit, so it is the creditor who has to decide whether it is right the for them to go for credit to the organization or not. So creditor or the supplier interested in the financial statement analysis. Then banker or the financial institution people, they are also interested for this financial statement analysis because through the financial statement analysis they are able to know whether the credit to be given or not, or the loan to be given or not. Okay, any kind of banks or financial institution, they will check whether the interest has to be raised or interest has to be lowered based upon the financial statement analysis only. Okay, employees also want this financial statement, they are also interested because they want higher salary, higher bonus. Through this financial statement only they can guess this the position of the organization, and they can able to guess whether their salary or the wages has to be increased or not, or they will get the bonus in the future or not. Similarly, government also, to formulate different planning and policies also, the government has also interested in this financial statement. The taxation policy they have to impose based upon the financial statement only. Then various trade association people, they are also interested in this particular financial statement analysis. Similarly, economists, then taxation authorities. Okay, taxation authorities. Okay, so these are all organizations. Okay, taxation authorities also interested because they have to change the tax slab, so they also interested. Similarly, economists or the researchers, they also interested in for progressing their research work, or to know different calculation, or the know different collection of different informations also. This economist, have this different kind of planning formulation also, they are also interested in this financial statement analysis. Okay, now we are going to discuss what is the traditional approach of financial statement analysis and what is the modern approach of financial statement analysis. Okay, so this is very interesting. What is a traditional, okay, and modern approach? ट्रेडिशनल दो अप्रोच है. ओके, एक ट्रेडिशनल है, एक मॉडर्न अप्रोच ऑफ क्या है, फिनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस और सिंपली फिनेंशियल एनालिसिस. ओके, दो अप्रोच है, ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच है एंड मॉडर्न अप्रोच है. व्हाट इज ट्रेडिशनल, व्हाट इज मॉडर्न? ओके, ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच में दो ही चीज आएगा, एक इनकम स्टेटमेंट आएगा, एक बैलेंस शीट आएगा. ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच में दो चीज आएगा, एक इनकम स्टेटमेंट आएगा, दूसरा क्या है, बैलेंस शीट आएगा. इनकम स्टेटमेंट मतलब क्या है, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. पोजीशन स्टेटमेंट मतलब क्या है, बैलेंस शीट. ओके, under traditional approach of financial statement only two things will arise, that is position statement and income statement. Whereas in the modern approach of financial statement, what will come, the modern approach of financial statement, what will come, the ratio analysis will come, the fund flow statement will come. Okay, the budgeting will come, the ratio analysis, fund flow statement, case flow statement, but budgeting, the comparative statement. Okay, so these are all coming under the head of modern approach of financial statement. Traditional approach is quite restricted. Traditional approach is quite confined to only and only income statement and the balance sheet. But the modern approach of financial statement has fund flow statement, case flow statement, comparative statement, budgeting. So these are all the things are coming under this particular. These are all the things which are coming under the modern approach of financial statement analysis. Okay. Then, while preparing this financial statement also, okay, it is for the preparation of this traditional approach of financial statement, which is very much simple, but for preparing the modern financial statement, it is a little bit complicated or little bit complex. And what are the information supplied in this traditional approach of financial statement, it is not that much of informative. Okay, traditional में information, what are the information supplied, it is not sufficient, it is not informative. But modern में उसका उल्टा होता है. So modern approach of financial statement, it is all about supplying the more amount of information. Okay, and in the modern, the little bit complex. While preparing the financial statement, it is very much complex, but the traditional approach of financial statement, it is very much simple while preparing the financial statement. Then for the reliability is concerned, you can't reliable too much under the traditional approach. Traditional approach is not that much of reliable, but modern approach you can reliable. you can trust, you can believe very much on the modern approach rather than this particular traditional approach. Okay, and there are detailed information regarding the financial information is not provided. Under traditional approach, the detailed information is not provided, whereas the modern approach, we can say the detailed information is always provided. Then presentation, the presentation is very much very old style. Okay, under the income statement or the particular balance sheet, the presentation is a little bit very much old. And for so far as specificity is concerned, the liquidity position of a company is not available in traditional method of financial statement, whereas in the modern statement analysis you can able to know, and there is availability of the liquidity position in this particular statement. And who are using this traditional approach of financial statement, it is the small organization, small firm, whereas for modern approach it is the big organization who are using. And usually this area of application is confined to what, the area for application is confined to only the income statement, and that is profit and loss account and the balance sheet is the only application in this particular traditional approach. But in case of modern approach of financial statement, it is going beyond the income statement and financial statement analysis. It has different kind of ratio analysis, case flow statement, fund flow statement. Okay, and the preparation and presentation of statement is very much simple and mandatory in case of traditional approach. Okay, for preparing the financial statement is very much easy under the traditional approach, because they have to bound to prepare income statement as well as balance sheet. But in case of modern approach, it is not that kind of mandatory, and for presentation is very much difficult in case of modern approach. But modern approach is always informative. It is you can trust, that is can be reliable, and there is specificity is present, and presentation of lot of information in this particular modern approach of financial statement. And you see, it is used by bigger firms, this particular financial statement. And you can able to know the short term liquidity position, long term liquidity position, profitability position, and efficiency position in this particular uh, modern approach of financial statement analysis. This is the segregation of modern approach of financial statement analysis and the traditional approach. Traditional approach is quite confined, it is quite simple, it is only taken into the income statement and balance sheet, and it is not that much of reliable, it is less informative. Whereas modern approach of financial statement, which is budgeting or the ratio analysis or the cash flow statement or fund flow statement, it is very much informative for the decision making. And you can know the bigger firm that is using this modern approach of financial statement, you can know the long term solvency position, profitability position, short term solvency position through this particular modern approach of financial statement analysis. This is the way we can segregate the traditional approach of financial statement and the modern approach of financial statement. This is all about today's class. Thank you for listening patiently. Thank you so much.